Hello, I'm Oliver, and this is the second part about what is philosophy. I will show you some definitions and give my opinion about them. So philosophy is a science, which for him was the study of existent objects. He even says that you can't study dragons because it would lack of knowable objects. He says that to do philosophy is to discover things. But actually, you don't need to discover anything to do philosophy. Just by trying to discover, it's already philosophy. And that's my point, that's my argument. To try to achieve something is already to do philosophy. You don't need to know anything. Just to try, the seek to know, to achieve, the seek of knowledge is already philosophy. Well, it's probably not a definition of philosophy, but it was what for him was a characteristic of philosophy. I don't believe that to be a philosopher or to do philosophy, you need to do that every day. It doesn't make sense. If you do philosophy, if you wonder about things once a week, once a month, or once a year, you're doing philosophy on that specific moment. The same goes to Plato as for Aristotle. Philosophy doesn't need to, it's not necessary any acquisition of knowledge or anything. You don't need to acquire any new knowledge to do philosophy. Just by trying to acquire a knowledge or a truth or whatever, it's already philosophy. And an example is the Cartesian doubt, a method where you could just doubt, just question and criticize using your mind, your rational thinking to try to achieve the truth, not necessarily achieving it. So the same, it doesn't really need to achieve anything. Just by trying, the seek, the volonté, the will of achieving the truth, it's already philosophy. As I said, to do philosophy is just wondering about the world. You don't need to grasp anything. I would agree with him if he simply said that to do philosophy is to try to grasp something, not necessarily about a specific era, but just try to grasp, try to get, try to know something. That's already philosophy. Philosophy starts with a doubt, with the wondering. So the method must be rational? I don't agree. As I said in the first part, reason comes after philosophy. So to achieve the fact that reason is the most adequate way of achieving the truth, you must before use philosophy. Think about the ways of achieving the truth and see and understanding that the perfect or almost perfect way is, or tool is the logic, the reason. So to do philosophy, it's not necessarily to think with the reason or rational thinking. It's necessarily a honest thinking that you really want to know the truth. So it will let you to a tool like logic that will help you to achieve the truth. So that's the point. Philosophy doesn't start with logic, but it leads to logic as a tool. It's very simple, but it's too simple. Not every mental activity is a philosophical activity. For example, if you're mentally denying the truth in order to prove some, I don't know, religious belief, rather than a truth, a logical argument that is contrary to your belief. So you're using your mind to disbelieve, to not seeking the truth, but seeking to satisfy your ego. It's not philosophy. It's, I don't know, it's probably sophistic activity, but not philosophical activity. So that comes for us as a common sense that philosophy is a life perspective, or a way of making our life better. But sometimes philosophy can make our life even worse. For example, the pessimism, the nihilism, or some philosophical ideologies that led us to great disasters like socialism, communism, etc. So philosophy has no intention of bettering your life or mine. No. Philosophy has the pure intention of fighting, seeking and finding the truth.